Rereading familiar books. The importance, there's many reasons to reread familiar books. We do want them to become easy or independent books for a few reasons. One of them is it certainly builds confidence. I can do it. I can read these books, no problem. I'm a good reader. Those kinds of thoughts and feelings are happening within your child as you read these books. They're the books that they really love to do. They're the books they whip through. But also keep in mind there are a few other reasons to read familiar books. The other two reasons together would be for fluency and expression. For example, when you're introducing it as a new book, it's going to sound like my truck is little. And that part of the reason that happens is because they're new words that they're trying, and because the finger is being used and it's kind of making a stop for each word. So as the child, my truck is little, well, these are the books where we go back and say, you know, that kind of sounded, let's make it sound like talking. And that's the phrase that I always use. So we wouldn't be talking to a friend and say, my truck is little. How would that sound if we were talking to someone? Well, it would probably sound, and I would demonstrate this, it would probably sound like, my truck is little. And you can sort of hear in the voice that it has a bit more expression, and it certainly doesn't sound, it sounds like talking. My bulldozer is little. We want to move from that to, my bulldozer is little. So different tones to your voice, different pitches. My ambulance is little. So when your child flies through these books, begin to fly through these types of books, make sure you're taking the time to say, alright, that sounded great. Now let's go back and make it sound like talking. So you did all the word work on here. You know these words. So what would it sound like if I was listening to you read a story to me, or if you were telling me about some pictures you were looking at? A truck is big. And that's when you're going to start to see their fingers slide. Again, however, if there's words that are missing, especially if it doesn't make sense, just check those words again and have them practice it. But the point of reading familiar books is to build that fluency, which is making it sound like talking, and expression. So for example, in Ben's red car, there is new punctuation, an exclamation point. Look at my red car. How would that sound? Look at my red car is not how that would sound if we were excited. He looks excited about this car that he drew, and he would sound excited. So those are your opportunities to practice fluency and expression. Again, rereading these familiar or easy or independent level books, it really solidifies their bank of high frequency words. And high frequency words are words such as my and is, my and is, my and is. And think about how many times they're seeing those words, and even little. It gives them the opportunity to build that visual memory. I've been mentioning an independent level or an easy level, and those are books that your child can read with about 95% accuracy, which means misreading only about 1 in 20 words. So they become easy when only about 1 in 20 words is misread. So often there'll be a word count. I'm not sure if this one has a word count. There might be a word count in the book, so if there are 35 words, well, we're going to be looking for less than, 2 or less errors than that. Those become easy, and they're still so important for your child to practice.